Birdies and Bourbon Show. Dan, your one and done didn't do too bad this weekend. I noticed. And it's because there was no one and done for us on the show. But let's see. The X-Man chalks up another assisted victory with one Patrick Cantlay, wire-to-wire winners at the Zurich Classic. Was there really a doubt that was going to happen? I was surprised about a few people, but I was not surprised to see Cantlay and Xander win, other than Cantlay just lost in a playoff to Jordan Spieth at RBC Heritage and bounces back with a victory, and he's $1 million richer.
Hey, who couldn't use another $1 million other than the $15 million he won like 6 months ago, right? So, I feel sorry.
Clearly, Twitter couldn't use another $1 million because they did not respond. They did not respond to our offer. No response.
No response. It's a birdie offer. It's a bourbon offer.
Exactly. I mean, at least they could have acknowledged that they received it, and I mean, just send the declination. It's perfectly okay. We understand.
When Elon said, "Love me tender," I know what you mean.
Exactly. So back to the Zurich Classic. So I got to say this in a nice way. Actually, I don't have to, but I'm going to try to. Zurich Classic. What'd you think about the Billy Horschel drop on, was it 17? Hey, I swear to God, I saw it. But I'm like, if you're really overselling it that much, did you see it bounce? I mean, I clearly saw it bounce. Now, I'm probably questioning the line or the spot, in that he was pretty adamant that he wanted the ball to be dropped above the hazard, which they did allow that to happen. I thought Jason Day could have done a little better job in kind of bulldogging that episode, but he didn't. He let it go on. But Billy Horschel, I mean, talk about overselling something. I mean, I was almost removed from a golf tournament. I felt like I was watching the NBA with the theatrics that were going on with this guy. I mean, he just kept on and on and on. Even after they finished the hole, he's got over here, John with the caddy. I think he was with Scotty Scheffler's caddy. I could be wrong, but who it was. But man, he just kept going on and just overselling the hell out of this thing, which leads me to believe the ball didn't hit where he actually said he thought the ball hit.
I love it. I love drama at the PGA Tour. We can't get enough of it. He says he will not apologize for how competitive he is. He was not going to apologize. He is who he is, and you can take him or leave him. Now, I'll take him. I love Billy Ho. I love it. I love all the drama. He loves this event, man. I don't know. I mean, he's one of those guys you cannot count out here. How do you think it would have gone if it was Billy Ho's ball and it was Berger and I don't know who else was up there, Hovland, like a couple weeks ago? No,
absolutely not. He would have pitched the fit. He would have pitched the same fit, just in a different way.
I'm waiting for somebody to throw somebody in the lake or something.
Throw somebody in the lake or something in the lake.
Throw somebody in the lake.
Yeah,
like wolf style, like oops.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot more Cantlay Schauffele pairings. I think we're going to see a lot more Horschel Burns pairings. Who else was kind of, who I was surprised about? Okay, and I don't know that
real quick. So obviously this a little bit WWE-ish, and then they get the big belt buckle, right, for winning the tournament.
Oh yeah, championship belt, baby.
So they're kind of on a run in terms of a team, from the Ryder Cup, this event, and all different kinds of different events.
I'm sure they're going to be at the President's Cup.
They already did the President's Cup, I think, too, as well. And it's like, okay, is comparisons?
Well, it's clear that Xander doesn't like to win PGA Tour events solo. With comparisons, let's see. If I were going to compare Xander to somebody, and I can go back to a golfer. I mean, I'm kind of getting like a Greg Norman vibe here. It's kind of the the monkeys on his back, man. And it's and so here's the thing: is I mean, when is this? It may already be screwing with him, but when is it going to become an issue for Xander to win? And maybe the answer is it already has, but that's got to be there. It's got to be there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he said that he hadn't been this close to winning in a while. Obviously, I think the last time he was this close to winning, what was it? Probably. Well, he won the Olympics last
Won
year.
the Olympics,
probably the
yep.
Masters. He finished like second or third of the Masters, right?
Yep.
And he said that Patty Ice cooled him down. I mean, that's what Patty Ice does.
Yeah.
And, I mean, cool cat. I mean, how good is Patrick Cantlay though? I mean, he wins last year. And then he has a couple of bad events, and we all like you and I. We never dissed him. We're like, yeah, he's fine, he's fine. But here he is, a runner-up, win. I mean, is he back? Is he gonna? Does he have a chance? You and I said last week or week before, nobody's gonna be able to take this title from Scotty Schauffele in terms of Player of the Year. Can he do it 2 years in a row? And is it gonna take him to win 2 years in a row for us to say he should have won the first year?
Does he have a chance? Well, if he shows up and he plays and he stays healthy, then absolutely he has a chance. But I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Scheffler's going to ride this thing for a minute, man. I mean, he's where did they finish at? Palmer and Scheffler finished at 18 under, T18. You got to think Scheffler's tired. Palmer is, he's a little long in the tooth. So, I can kind of see that happening. And I think it's the first, obviously they play together a lot, but I think it's the first official tournament that they played together as a team. So I think you got some feeling out to do there. And I could see Scheffler calling Spieth and Ryan Palmer moving on to somebody else.
So, okay, a couple things here. So first off, from a one and done perspective, you and I did not play one and done last. We didn't like the way it was going to set up. We didn't want to burn two players. If we did it, say we did it next year, would you take Schauffele, Cantlay as a one and done if you had to take both of them as a pair, or would you always want to play them separately?
So the answer is yes and no. Cantlay, play him separately. Xander, I think you got to play him.
You can't. You got to do either or. You can either take them as a team at this event, or you have to play them separately.
I think you got to take him I think you take it as a team. I think
So you're saying based off this, you're going to take this team next year.
Oh, I've already marked it down.
Oh, okay.
Already marked it. All
right.
Yeah. So in case you're logging into Drive over there, yeah, it's already taken. But you can take them too, I guess.
Okay. And then secondly, we talked about Ryan Palmer and his ability to pick his playing partner.
Hell of a recruiter.
Right. Does he have a better career in the NCAA as a one and done guy?
Absolutely think that he does. I don't know why he's sticking around on tour, man.
Can he take over Coach K's spot?
You argue differently. Argue that he is not the best recruiter in sports.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
What I do want to see is what infringements could he be partaking in, and what are the fines involved? That's what I want to know. What's he sending these guys? What did he pay for? Did he pay for Jenna's bachelorette party? And Brooks is his team Brooks next year.
Oh,
just saying.
I got your jet, Jenna. I got your jet.
Mm-hmm. Just here. Tell me what time it'll be there. So yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I wanted to make mention of. Why wouldn't I? These guys look like they actually played a pretty good tournament. Finished T4. I think so did half the field. But they had a really good time in New Orleans. Was Bubba Watson and HV3.
Yeah.
And so, I'm a little surprised that, and we neither of us know those guys personally. All we know is what we see. But HV3 is pretty loose. He's pretty loose with some foul language. And now, granted, he seems like a great dude, does lots of things for charity, but he ain't afraid. He's not afraid to throw the fuck bomb out there at any point in time, camera rolling or not. And I don't see, and Bubba's over here crying. Not at the event, but I'm saying in general. So that it just seems a little bit like an odd pairing to me. Again, maybe HV3 is just a a little more transparent than Bubba is. Bubba wants to be transparent. It just shows through in a different way. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a weird pairing. I didn't know what we were going to get out of those guys. You got a lefty and a righty. Who knows where Bubba's going to hit the ball. And you got, So, and obviously they played a lot better in the 4-ball matches than they did the alternate shot. So, maybe that's one of those things, but I was glad to see those guys. I was glad to see them play well.
Well, they're both kind of like guys from the South, right? So, HV3 went to ECU, he's a Pirate. Bubba's from Pensacola area. And so they both kind of got the kind of South thing going on, but they're also both, Air Jordan fans. They probably talk about Nike the entire time.
Ooh, that's a good one. They probably did talk about their shoes.
Yeah, talk about shoes, and if you're Bubba Watson and if you're HV3, do you want to play with one of those, or do you want to play with Pat Perez or Keegan Bradley? I'm probably
going to play with Bubba. Playing with Bubba. Probably playing with Bubba. I don't think Pat was at this event, and I don't think either of those. I don't think Keegan or Pat were here.
No, I don't think so.
But I don't know why they're not playing together next year. They should already have this thing inked.
That's a good point. So it should be, like HB3 and Bubba versus Keegan and
Pat. Yeah. P squared. No, yeah. I think so. I think that's a hell of a pairing. Probably the best. I don't actually own any. I'm not a big fan of those. I mean, it's not that I don't like them personally to play golf in, but I mean, they look cool, I guess.
I figured that you'd be stocking up, that you've been watching Tokyo Vice a little bit, and they're in there and they're comparing their little Nikes, and this is cool.
Well, I'm waiting on them to hit the black market as soon as they start accepting Bitcoin and I can get the knockoffs. Definitely going that route.
Bitcoin or Twitter shares, I'm good to go. I'll trade either.
Did you get a message from Twitter yet about the offer?
Let me check. Nothing yet.
It's on its way, I'm sure. It's probably just held up. There's probably it was probably the file size that they sent over, and it probably got held up. Yeah. Well,
I did, and we did actually write Elon as well, and said you don't have to buy Twitter. I mean, we're birdies. I mean, it's kind of Twitter, tweet, bird.
It's like a tweet. Like a tweet.
I'd take 44, whatever it is, $1 billion. I mean, we were ready to accept an offer if you wanted to offer us some money.
We're still ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Still ready. Let's see. Okay, so congrats to Cantlay and the X-Man. I don't think this will be the last time we see them wearing the championship belts. You were sending some messages over about that bachelorette party. Were you were they live streaming? You were following them around? What was happening? What were you doing over there?
So first off, it was just research for the show. I mean,
research.
You didn't want to do the research. I had to do the research. So it looked like it was a good time.
I felt uncomfortable, for crying out loud. I mean, they barely had any clothes on.
You felt uncomfortable.
I'm definitely getting flagged by watching this. I'm definitely getting flagged, and I'm showing up on some kind of watch list. But it did look like they had a really good time. I don't know if Brooks has had his bachelor party yet, but if he hasn't, I think that was a very smart move to let her go first. That way you kind of you set the boundaries. And it looked like there really were no boundaries. Anything goes. This is no holds barred. I'm thinking he's got Dusty on the phone, man. Hey, man, get in touch with your guy. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.
Yep.
And hold on. So was there any news? I'm segueing unintentionally here. So DJ, it looked like he just got married this past weekend.
Yep.
So my first comment is congratulations. My second comment is the great one must have threw the gauntlet down and said, okay, it's time. We gotta make this a thing. And then my third comment is I hadn't heard anything about the marriage. I mean, I know they've been engaged for a long time. They got a few kids. And I didn't hear anything about, there were no announcements about a wedding that I heard. Did you hear about any wedding announcements?
Just like Friday or Saturday, like just before it was happening. Yeah.
Hey, oh, by the way, we're on the way to the church.
Yeah.
So we're on the way to the wedding.
Yeah.
So do you think it was so Brooks, his engagement has been announced for quite some time.
Yep.
Or his wedding, the wedding date's been announced for quite some time. You
Mhm.
think there was any pressure there? You think it was like a challenge? Like, hey, we got to do this now?
The Bash Brothers, 100%. I think there's a lot of challenges going on there. A lot of hey, keeping up with the other one or whatnot. And there's still
Keeping up with
I
the
don't think
Johnsons.
it was never a Brooks Bryson rivalry. It's always been a Brooks DJ rivalry. That's
It's like that Jamie. It's like that Jamie Johnson song, "Keeping Up with the Johnsons."
Oh, I love it. Yes, yes, it is.
There are no Joneses here, sir. But it did look like they had a really good time. I mean, if I'm going to a party, I want to know where she's going to be at. She knows how to throw down for sure. Okay, so next thing that kind of hit me, and I don't know why he did this. I don't know why he did it. I don't know. I mean, I do know why he did it, but I don't know. So the Shark, Greg Norman.
Oh, no. We can't go there first.
Okay, all right.
DJ getting married. You know my question to you. Has anybody done it before?
Oh, so has anyone is there a Masters champion that has been that got married in the green jacket?
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get the answer
Well,
to that.
here's what I think. So I think there's a couple of ways this could go. I think the first one is, I think if you do it in the first year, I think you're totally good. Like, you win it, you get the jacket, you keep it for a year, you do all your stuff and all your appearances, and you get the jacket. Now, after the first year, as I understand, the jacket stays in Augusta,
Right.
stays at Augusta National.
Yep.
I would expect that there could be reasons that you would request to take the jacket off premise for some event. And I don't know that, I mean, if it was like an all the time thing, I could see them saying like, hey, I mean, you don't get not every week at that point. But
Gary,
if it was like
stop asking, Gary. We're not going to give it back to you. Well, not laddie.
but exactly. Yeah, I want to put my little night on there, you see. But if it was a special occasion like that, I mean, it looks like they really are supportive of the members and they want things to happen. I don't know that someone would say no. Meaning the board at Augusta. I mean, if they said no and they released that I asked them, because you ain't taking the championship away. I mean, I guess there could be reasons that you take it away, but you would still be the winner.
Right.
But you could get your membership revoked, I guess.
Yeah.
But I know of, I haven't seen it. Don't know. I couldn't tell you that there has been.
It would have been cool for DJ. I mean, he would have only had a few months, I guess, right? Because he won in October and Matsuyama won it in April, right? So, but if he could have gotten married between that time, it would have been cool if he would have gotten married in the jacket,
Yeah, no, I think it would have been really, I mean, he was crying on his pimento cheese and all that. And you know what else here's another one. So since you mentioned it, that's probably been the only time that you've had two Masters champions with their green jackets outside of Augusta at the same time, legally.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you could. Yeah, I'm sure you could go and sneak it out, but DJ had a few. He got it early, and then Hideki had it late. So I guess it wasn't for the full year, but at least 6 months they had it out at the same time. Why do we not have pictures of Hideki and DJ with their jackets out together? Grabbing a beer or a bourbon or a barbecue. A sake. I mean, DJ he says he likes sushi. Yeah. They could have done sushi and sake bombs. So that's I don't know why.
If they did that, they could not keep Mr. Spieth, Mr. Seconds away.
I don't know if they would have wanted to. I don't know if they would have wanted to.
I'm having seconds.
Yeah, definitely having seconds. What have we talked about what we're going to have next year for the Masters, Neil? I know we got to talk about the Mexico Open.
We talked about it a little bit. We talked about it a little bit. You told it was like a brisket and a bourbon.
Oh yeah, it is going to be. Yeah, I think it'll be traditional Texas barbecue. We're going to have brisket and beef ribs, and I don't think there's going to be any pork on the menu.
Definitely got to crash that one.
I don't think we'll see any pork on the menu, but yeah.
No pork? No,
Yeah.
no pork?
No, I think he's gonna go all beef.
Yeah,
It's all beef.
Beef Texas barbecue. Okay.
Except for the other than the vegans, and it's gonna work out great.
Dessert?
I think we're gonna get like a banana pudding kind of thing. I mean, like a traditional, barbecue kind of follow-up. That's what I think.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Back. Speaking of the Masters, back to the guy that never won it, that's so bitter, starting up his own golf league. Greg Norman sends a note to the Open Championship and says he's looking for an exemption. How old's the Shark? 67?
I can look it up real quick.
So while Dan's looking that up, so here's the deal. So Greg is a two-time, I believe, two-time Open champion winner. He's 67 years old. And immediately what I thought about is, why does he need an exemption? He's a two-time winner. Yeah. Well, what happens is you're exempt until you're 60, and or if you've won the tournament in the past 10 years. I think he could probably file like a COVID thing. Like hit him with the pandemic. And hey man, like and maybe I didn't read this, but I'm just thinking, I mean, can't you blame everything else on COVID? So I'm thinking I think he hits him with the pandemic, and I would have competed in 2020 and 2021. However, I didn't feel safe. I didn't think it was the right thing to do. Did they play that? I don't think they played the Open Championship in 2020. Morikawa won it in 21, but I think it was I think maybe they didn't, but that's me off the top of my head.
They didn't. No.
Yeah, knee deep into this cocktail. But I think that he could definitely play the COVID card, and I think the RNA will have to reassess the way he should position this is, you see, at the Live Tour, here's how we make these decisions. I mean, I think that there is so much game there, but he is, and I don't actually know if he would have played. I don't know if he was serious about wanting to play in the Open. But I mean, he said all the right things. He said he still got it. He can still compete. He can still whatever. And maybe he can. He looks good. He's definitely in better shape than you and I combined. That's for sure. Let me speak. I don't want to speak for you. I'll speak.
Can I suggest something real quick? Okay. Well, Greg, first off, thank you for the interest and wanting to play again, and really appreciate all those efforts. If you do want to make a comeback, we know a guy in Atlanta that can get you into the Mitsubishi Classic.
It's called the Champions Tour, and we do know a guy.
Yeah.
And he can. I think he has the power to give the exemption.
Yeah, he does. He does. And they would love to have him.
They would love to have the Shark there. Absolutely, they would. I mean, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic and you know what? The Sugarloaf actually, it kind of reminds me of a lot of Norman's courses. I mean, there's lots of sand. It's big fairways, big greens. That may be a Norman design, actually.
Yeah, could be.
I got to look that up. Filibuster.
I see where you're going. Hey, and I see where you're going with this. And I see you're leading. Oh, you think you're so smart.
But here's what I think. I do think that I think it's all staged. I don't think he's really interested in playing. He could be, but I don't think he is.
Okay. If he does play, over and under, how many Saudi Tour things?
Greg Norman designed.
I mean, absolutely. Does he have like a Mike Tyson face tattoo? How far does he go?
They do. You know how they do the masks, like, for the well, I mean, talking about masks, you know how they do the masks? They put the images on them. I think he does like the shark teeth on the mask, and he just wears the mask the whole time. That's what I'm thinking. So yes, Sugarloaf is absolutely a Greg Norman design golf club. I mean, why the hell is he not? Why is he not over here playing in that event?
I don't know. He should be. And you know what else is? Vidanta Vallarta.
Well, why did he go there? He could have gone down. I mean, maybe he could have got down there. It's a Greg Norman design golf course. Why is he not there?
Yeah. Okay, Cal, let's take a quick break for station identification. And what are you drinking today, sir?
I'm actually having, so our friends at Rock New York Elite Barrel Pickers Club, definitely butchered that one. I'm sipping on some of their tequila, and I've whipped up a tequila old fashioned.
Oh,
So there you go.
How was that?
It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the tequila's great. And yeah, I mean the old fashioned and the cocktail itself, but it's a good little mix with moving, throw it in some tequila, something you wouldn't normally do. So yeah, it's tasty.
What kind of tequila is it? You know?
Well, in fact, I do. It is El Tesoro Raspado single barrel. And he did a really good job at, you don't see a lot of people. I guess there's more people that are getting into kind of the single barrel tequila stuff, but I think that's going to be the next wave that we see in the cocktail world is going to be, I don't know when we'll see a slowdown on the bourbon and the rye whiskeys. I think when we see it is when the actual distillers start to kind of, pull back on it. But I think as soon as that happens, I think we're going to be, we'll see more of the, we'll start to see more tequilas and I guess tequilas. I don't know. Vodka probably doesn't make sense. Gin, I don't know if that really makes sense, but definitely the tequila side of the house. I think that's going to be the next kind of boom in the spirits world. Yeah, from a single barrel standpoint.
Did you ever tell us, did you bring a bunch of stuff back from Puerto Rico when you went from a rum perspective or?
I brought a few rums back. It was actually not, I didn't particularly enjoy, we had a great trip, but I didn't particularly enjoy, I'm not in a hurry to get back to Puerto Rico. I'll say it like that. It's, it was like if Walmart were an island, that's what it was.
So hey guys, just earmuffs if you don't want to hear this. You had to swim back, huh? You had to swim back. That's it.
I didn't realize I was such a strong swimmer.
They would not let him back into the continental US.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if I were living there, it'd be perfectly okay. But to go like on a vacation and kind of, you're looking to get away and kind of go do some stuff. We had a great time. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, but we didn't go to Bacardi. I didn't want I didn't want to go to Disneyland.
Did you like text all your Cuban friends, say I'm coming back down?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Said meet me halfway. Yeah, I'm bringing the dinghy.
All right, take us to Mexico.
And as a matter of fact, I may be heading to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, in fact, not for the golf tournament, but a little later on in the year. And man, the field at the Zurich Classic was a hell of a lot more stacked than the field at Vidanta Golf Club. So there's some interesting things that are happening here. So yes, this is the Mexico Open, but it's I'll say a new golf tournament. It's at a new golf course. We haven't played here before, so it's going to be hard to look at course history. We don't have it. We do have some updates and some things that are going on at the course. But yeah, so Puerto Vallarta on the west coast of Mexico. It's a Greg Norman design in Vidanta. This typically plays as about 7,400 yards from the tips, and it plays as a par 73 for the resort guests. We're going to play it just over 7,400 yards for the pros, and it's going to play as a par 71. So here's where I think we are. I think we are the folks that are hitting the ball long. I think they're going to benefit here. I think that if you're missing fairways, I think you're going to have a better opportunity to hit fairways here because the fairways are bigger. It's a resort golf course. And I think of this, it's going to play Kapalua-esque. It's going to be what the beginning of the year started out with all the resort friendly golf courses. Probably they're going to go low. what is it? I'll definitely screw it up, but it's Palpassum greens, but it's that oceanside turf that kind of holds up, and it's tee to green all the way through. So I think it's probably going to benefit some of the folks that aren't great putters. I think they're going to have a little bit of relief here. And yes, it is a Greg Norman design, so there's plenty of bunkers everywhere. I don't know. I look at the tour players, and they'd probably, I think they're just as equally fine hitting out of the sand as they are from the fairway. And they pared back some of the par fives into par fours. So that's going to be, I think distance is definitely going to be key. The one guy that I'm probably not going to be hamstrung on this week is Jon Rahm, because I absolutely think at this resort style golf course, one, I'm actually surprised that he's showing up there, but we can talk about that in a second. But I think that it's going to turn into a putting contest. And I think that that's probably, even though Rahm has shown a little bit of life as of late, and I mean, he's the number 2 player in the world, so there's plenty of life there. I mean, it's not like he needs to show any life, but there's definitely been, there's been some times where, you've got the highest priced golfer in the field, and he didn't really look like the highest priced golfer in the field. I mean, there's people even in this field that have arguably better finishing statistics than Rahm does. I guess it would depend on how you kind of measure that. But let's head over to our friends at fantasynational.com and let's go. I don't know how we're going to go through this field, but we'll go through it. Here's all I'll say is when Tony Finau is the second highest priced player, Abraham Answer, who knows what is going on with him? I think there's been lots of injuries kind of coming, and I haven't seen anything publicly stated as to what's wrong with him. But when he's the third highest player, I think that there are lots of folks, not that we're not trying to create a storyline, but there are lots of folks trying to create a storyline and just trying to make ties where they can. But Tony Finau at $10,400, that's a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Now, when I started filling up my lineup, I said, okay. We got an interesting lineup this week, that's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to dig deep and all
right. So
these weeks are easier to predict though, because if you're really into these types of events and you're into the PGA Tour and you know who these people are and you can look at the stats, you have an advantage over, when you have all Class A players in there.
So I think the issue becomes once you get down into the lower price ranges, I think that it's really slim pickings down there. And I think that becomes a little bit of the challenge. So I don't know. Model rank number 1, $11,300. Are you playing Rahm or are you just moving on?
I'm moving on. I can't afford him this week, because if I take him at that price point, it's going to push me so far down that I'm not going to be able to make a really good decision down there. Don't you agree?
I do agree. The only guy that really interests me, and he doesn't interest me whatsoever. I'm a fan. I'm not a hater. I think he's absolutely overpriced, but I think that Patrick Reed is going to be, he'll probably be the lowest owned guy in the 10,000 and higher range.
Yep.
So off the tee, he switched to a PXG driver. By the way, I got one on the way. I'll let you know. Hopefully it makes it by Thursday. It makes it by Thursday. Yeah, we're getting out for a round, so we'll see. If it does, I'll get some video out for sure. But so Patrick Reed will be the lowest owned guy that could make the cut. I don't know how. I mean, Abe Answer is. I think there's some injury stuff going on there. And I just don't know. I mean, for $10,300, he's missed his last 2 cuts. One of them was the Masters, but I mean, he typically plays pretty good. I think that's a fade for me. So I think there's 2 directions that I go here. And one, if I want to play somebody in the $10,000 and better range, I think that the ownership of Patrick Reed is probably that. I see that as a positive. The other guy is Kevin Na. I think he's going to be single-digit ownership. The course is going to play long, but I think Kevin Na hopes it turns into a putting contest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are probably the two places that I'm going to go there. As you mentioned, I don't think I'm going to be, I don't want to afford Rahm this week with the other options that are available. I don't want to own Abe Answer. The pressures of playing in Mexico. We don't know what the injury stat is. And everybody, well, the only other one is Tony Finau. Even though Tony Finau, T35 at the Masters, T29 at Valero, missed a cut, T33. I think we're seeing a little bit of life out of Tony Finau. I don't like the ownership numbers. I don't like the price. And I think there's better values to be had.
Do you think Na is healthy?
I think so. T26 at Heritage, T14 at the Masters. He missed a couple of cuts. We had some issues going on there, but then T20 Sony, that's a little dated. But yeah, T26 and T14, I think he is.
Okay.
$9,000 range. We're not going to go through everybody on here. Who are we kidding? Of course, we're going to go through everybody. No. So you want to start with him or you want me to?
You go first.
Well, so Gary Woodland ranks out second in the model, and Gary Woodland ranks out first on approach, sixth in putting, 62nd off the tee, which I really, by the way, I'm looking at the last 24 rounds on Fantasy National. And off the tee ranks 62nd, which I'm totally good with, because I think off the tee at this course is going to look a little different than off the tee at some other courses where he's played really well, even though I'd say he's got a pretty good track record on the Florida swing. But I absolutely think Gary Woodland is a play. So do 21% of the other folks that are logged into Fantasy National. And yeah, outside of that one, I'll let you go for a minute, because the other guy, or maybe two that I'll mention, you definitely going to mention.
So first off, Gary Woodland is my one and done lean. So far, he's kind of the guy I've got penciled in. I think he's a great play here. Everything you just said, I mimic in terms of just why we like him here. You played a little bit earlier in the year, but definitely showing the signs of what the good Gary Woodland is we've seen before. I would say Munoz is ranked fourth in this model. So he's at $9,800 off the tee second, on approach eighth, around the green eighth, putting 87th, not great, lower half there. The players, T33, API, T26, Genesis, T21, Phoenix, T23, Farmers, T39. So he has been playing really good golf. And I can see him popping here. I like him here. What about you?
Isn't he from Mexico? Playing in his home country.
Yeah.
I feel like I do too. I think that the top of the $9,000 range is a good place to start. I think you could actually go down through the majority of the $9,000 range and pick two players that work out for you. And I think you could start in the $9,000 range, totally skip the $10,000 range, and you'll be in good shape. So two people. Well, actually, I like everybody in the $9,000 range. Chris Kirk, yes. Aaron Wise, yes. Cameron Tringale.
Sebastian Munoz from Colombia.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking of, I don't know. The names don't even sound remotely familiar. I was thinking of Carlos Ortiz. Sorry about that. Well, we'll get to him in a second. So, but Tringale, I'll say maybe. Chris Kirk ranks out third in our model. I mean, everything except for the putter looks absolutely great. He did miss the cut at the Heritage. T35 at Valero, missed the cut at the Players. I ain't going to hold that against him. But then you got the API and the Honda, T5 and T7. I may be changing my one and done after looking through that number. And I think Chris Kirk looks really good. I like Aaron Wise. Here's a guy that I think is probably better suited. And I'll look at the odds in a second. And scroll down. Yeah, right there. He looks like shit in the model. 112th, but T10 at the Masters.
Oh yeah.
Missed the cut at Valero. Missed the cut at the Players. T61 API. T67 Genesis. I actually think this is a place that Cameron Champ could play really well. The fairways are going to be big and plentiful. Distance, I think, is gonna help him out. He's ranked 9th off the tee. He's ranked 9th off the tee at some I mean, what we're capturing and recording, some pretty challenging golf courses off the tee. So, I mean, I absolutely feel like this could be something. This could be a place where we see Cameron Champ get another victory.
When you said a
Absolutely.
resort style course off the tee is going to be key, I immediately went to Cam Champ, but then you said putting contest, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably right about that part of it, but I could see him doing really well here. It's the field isn't as strong as the fields that we typically see these guys play in. I could see him have a lot of confidence, and this is the type of place to your point, he wins here. Yep, a lot. Yep.
Absolutely could see that. There's not many people that I don't like if I'm fading somebody that well, let me rephrase. If I'm going in a direction, I think I like the guys, right? Well, obviously Woodland, we talked about him, but I think Kirk, Wise, Champ, probably a place that I'm going. I mean, Russell, no putt knocks, man. I mean, and past Palom greens. I mean, it could get, I mean, everything else. What's he, 35 or better? Most of them, he's in the ranked in the mid-teens. Absolutely.
So what's the altitude of this place? Do you know?
It's flat. Everything's flat. I don't. It's at sea level ish.
Okay. So there's not like a Mexico City kind of up there.
It's not the Open that we saw, the Mexico Open that we saw a year or two ago, where the people were hitting 600-yard drives. No. This one's sea level and it's completely flat. Completely different golf course than what we saw there. I mean, this is literally you're loading up the family and you're taking them to you're taking your non-golfing buddies to go play around a golf at a resort style golf course. So, which I think is probably a little bit of I think it's more of a challenge for the golf course and the tour to make this thing challenging for the golfers and to make it so that it's hard enough. I think the past Palom greens, I think it's going to be hard to get them overly fast. I think it's going to kind of help, some folks that may not be putting the best. And I mean, it's designed so that that you and me that suck at golf can show up and not just have a miserable damn day.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I'd say that, the Todd father has been playing better golf. The concern would be this is a long place and it's sea level. So does he have the length in order to do it? I don't know, but he's a hell of a putter. He's number one in the field here. So, and he's been, like I just said, he's been playing better golf. So T8 at the Valero, T26 at RBC. He's getting back to the form we saw where he won 2 to 3 times in the same year. He's getting back to that form where he's hitting all those fairways and he's making the putts and he can be dangerous. It's a little bit long for him still here. I love everybody in the $9,000 range. Streelman, I love Streelman too. I mean, Streelman cut at the RBC, Valero T18, Blouspar T7, the players T22, off the tee 10th in this field on approach 70th, a putting 43. He looks good here. I'm not going to use him here because I like him with Travelers, but I like Streelman. So I guess in this field, who do I like the least in the $9,000? Probably Brendon Todd because of the driving distance, but I mean, I like the putting.
Lots of things to like. Lots of things to like for sure. All right, $8,000 range.
Who's fading?
Who am I fading in the $9,000 range?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to fade anybody, man.
Yeah,
So okay, so
you're with me. You're same with me. Yeah.
no, I like your Todd. I may be a Matt Jones fade just from an ownership standpoint, and even though I like Gary Woodland, so do more than 20% of the other people that are going to be playing.
Okay.
That could be. So I guess, if so DraftKings only, I think that I'm going to start lineups in the $9,000 range, and I'm going to play a combination of, and it may go something like Woodland, Matt Jones, Streelman, Sebastian Munoz. So high price, low price, just to kind of even some things out. And then I'm going to have to go straight to the $6,000 range to make it wash. But yeah, that's me. I can't look at this and say that there's a solid fade. I mean, if I just look at how things are color coded,
yeah,
like I'd be a dumbass to play Cameron Champ over, I mean, pick any of them, pick anybody up there in the $9,000 range.
I like
Champ. It wouldn't. Yeah, but I'm absolutely going to play him bet Champ. I mean, I think this is a place that he could actually get something done at.
Yep, I agree. Okay.
All right, $8,000 range. Who do I like down here? So I'll make mention, I'd say fellow countryman, but that wouldn't make sense. But Carlos Ortiz playing in Mexico. I guess he's playing okay.
Mhm.
I don't know that, I mean, there's a lot of miscuts. I'm not aware of any injuries that are happening there. All those miscuts and playing in his home country, is that going to be added pressure? I'm probably not going to go the route of Carlos Ortiz, even though I think it makes for a great storyline. Sounds really fun. That's a fade for me. I don't know. Doug Gim, probably a guy that I'm gonna go towards. I don't know price wise if $8,900 is going to support me to be able to do that. But I don't know. Maybe it's a situation where I pick some of the lower tier $9,000 guys, and that allows me to incorporate Doug Gim in a lineup. So that's a maybe. But I'm here once again. I mean, Rye looked pretty good last week. Sahith Tagala's been playing
Good. Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Davis Riley just played with Willie Z last week and looked pretty good.
Up and way better.
I what he missed a cut at the Heritage, T4 at Valero, T32 for CH3. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mixed bag for me a little
So,
bit.
so here's the concern with this type of field, right? Is you're in the $8,000 range. We rarely see this many miscuts the last 5 events in the $8,000 range that we see right here. That's the problem. It's like it's already getting to the point where it's challenging because of this the how they're performing.
I mean, the weaker field, the price tag. I mean, to me, it probably makes more sense that I'm going to go. I may skip a lot of the $8,000 range.
Me
Probably
too.
means somebody's going to win from that range, and I may go like 9s and 7s, and
Yeah.
and let that ride, right? Because again, I still feel like I'm not overpaying for the field and where they are. But if okay, so look at this. So Mark Hubbard, he ranks 6th in the model,
Yep.
$8,000. I don't know that I'm going to be playing a lot of Mark Hubbard here. I mean, I think there are a lot of other names and a lot of other players that are playing better than him right now. That are, I mean, yeah, they may be a little more expensive, but I think the return is going to be there. So Mark Hubbard down as your one and done.
Homeless Hubs is getting some play from me this week. So off the T 81st, which is below where you'd want to be, but approach 24th around the green 14th and putting 19th. Those are all really, really good numbers. He missed the cut in Coral Island this Pupicana, probably because Cal was there the week after and he was scared. And then Puerto Rico, T38, Honda 15th, Pebble, T33, missed the cut at Farmer. So he's been playing decent. And it's that putting and the approach are just really good. And the model ranked 6. I mean, again, high ownership here. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm probably going to skip the majority of this range. I don't really like the $8,000 range.
Who am I going? Scott Stallings ranked 9th. He did miss a cut at RBC, but T13, T16, T42, missed a cut at API. But I like the 9th ranking. Putting looks good. Distance is good. So yeah, I think Stallings in the $7,000 range is probably a place that I'm going to wind up a lot. Hey, it could be. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said, oh yeah. First off, you went to the $7,000 range, but yeah, I'm with you that I like Stallings at 7,000. I like that a lot. Yes.
And I think it's a Clark week, man. I think this is, if you're ever going to play Clark, I think this is a place where you play him. I think the distance will play into his favor. So I think this is a Wyndham Clark go. Who else looks good? JT Poston
just
maybe.
played well. Just played well. Yeah, he really did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anybody else.
But if you look at Poston, so you said earlier, off the tee and putting. So Poston off the tee last 24 rounds, 5th, putting 27th. Model rank 23rd, $7,500, 6.5% protected ownership, T3 heritage. You got to play him. You got to play him.
I think it's a play for me for sure. Nate Lashley's a maybe. I mean, did miss a cut at the RBC, but and we know he's not going to be able to putt. But I think the greens may kind of redirect something there for him. So Nate Lashley's a maybe for me. Anybody else in the $7,000 range that kind of sticks out? Michael
Yeah.
Thompson's been having a rough go of it. So I don't know. I'm probably going to go a different direction there. Graham McDowell. The only reason I say this is he's right now he's projected at less than 2% ownership. T21 at RBC, missed Valero, T50 at Corrales, missed the cut at Valspar, and T13 at API. I mean, he's definitely not the longest guy, and the numbers, but at 1%, at 2% ownership, that may be that if I need that $7,000 play, that could be a spot for me.
Yep. Okay.
Anybody else in the $7,000 range that you're just totally
Yep.
bull or bear on?
Let's go on down to the $6,000 range. Let's pick a couple guys down here.
Let's see. I mean, I never thought I would say this, but Ryan Armour.
Mhm.
I mean, this is, so T15 at Corrales Punta Cana, Miss Puerto Rico, Miss Honda, T28 at Pebble Beach, T20 at Sony, 4% ownership at $6,900. Like if Ryan Armour can bring any of those finishes at 6,900, I'm all in.
Yep. Same thing with Vaughn Taylor. Model rank 13th, $6,900, projected ownership 7% off the T64 at the around the green, 13th on approach, 13th. Putting weak there, 103rd, but Corrales, T25, Mr. Cut at Valspar, T7 at Puerto Rico, T55 Honda, T28 Pebbles. He's been playing really good. The form is really good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why I wouldn't go that direction. So,
Yep.
I'm just seeing who else is like in the low 6,000s, if there's anybody
The low.
low.
Look at this Ben Griffin. Look at that balance. I mean, he is like between 50 and 40 in every single category.
Ben Griffin at $6,600 cut.
I wasn't saying play him. I'm just saying that's some balance right there. Everything's yellow.
I mean, it doesn't suck.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people a lot higher than him that aren't ranked nearly as good. What about? Yeah, a lot of Corn Ferry people down here. So a little bit of Lingmirth. He ranks 101, but I mean, he's been playing okay. Lingmirth could be a lean for me. Like if I'm, if I go top heavy and then try to get down here to diversify.
You play Richie Warinsky. He's always interesting. Projected ownership 2%, model rank 65th, off T 95th, but putting 22nd. Missed the cut at RBC, T48 at Valero, Valspar T21, players missed the cut, Puerto Rico T28. So he's been playing decent. And he can pop. So, and it's baseball season. So there you go.
It is baseball season. All right, that'll take care of me. Camilo Villegas. That may be a guy. T59 at Heritage, missed the cut to the Valero. T58 cut. I don't know. Maybe just what's his ownership? Less than 1%? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Probably
Good.
somewhere I'm going. What's next? You want to do a lineup?
Let's do lineup. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have closed that out. Let's see. All right. Let's start in the $9,000 range.
All right, hold on. Moving slow.
Should we take Champ? Aaron Wise? Both?
I'm good with both.
Both of those guys? All right. Let's see.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You want to take Ortiz, Mr. Colombian, or
Ooh, a lot of folks are already withdraw, by the way, WD. I don't know. Do we want to go Ortiz? I don't know. That's gonna fare out.
all right.
We can. You want to go Ortiz?
No, we don't have to. We can come back to him. Let's see what we have for him. Hubbard. You want to do Hubbard? No.
No, let's do Stallings.
Okay, Stallings got him.
Let's do Wyndham Clark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poston?
If we can afford it, yeah, let's see. Let's go Poston. Oh, we got 8,300 left. I mean, do we go Lanto?
Yeah, let's go Lanto.
That was easy. And that was quick.
That was quick. We've got some good guys in here. All right. One and done.
One and done. You want to go first? You said you already had a lean.
Oh, I do. I'm taking Woodland.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the
That- that-
sheep.
I think that's a good play. Yeah, I think Woodland's solid.
I mean,
Let me see what his number.
week, and you played him earlier this year, and we've both been talking about how he's been back in good form and back to where we saw him, where he's been, where he was winning before.
Yeah,
Injuries all healed up, and he's playing great. So yeah, I see him doing well here.
yeah, so do I. I'm trying to see what the odds are on him.
Ooh,
Still looking to see what the odds are on him, by the way.
okay.
So you're taking Woodland. I'm gonna go for. Have I used Cameron Champ, by the way?
Let me take a look.
I should probably go Kirk or Wise. There's actually some really good numbers on some people this week. Cameron Champ's 50-1. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bet that.
You have not taken Champ. No, you want
Yeah,
him?
I'll take Cam. Yeah, I'll take Cam Champ. I mean, do you realize how little we've talked about the number 2 player in the world?
Well,
That's how relevant he
I've
is.
used them, so I can't use them again. So
That's right. No, I'm saving him. I think he's going to make a move. So I'm saving it. Why don't I see Woodland? Woodland. Where are you? Where are you, Gary Woodland?
he should be in like the top 5.
You're 22-1.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that's
not
pretty good.
I mean, yeah, decent. It's better than Rahm at 5-1. I mean, who's betting that number?
Good Lord, 5-1.
Let's see. Okay, so we got that out of the way. What have you been watching? Have you been watching Outer Range?
I have. I like that show. It's the first 2 were really kind of bang bang, and it's starting to get some more story in there now, which is good. It's gonna take. It's kind of like that, Yellowstone, where they come out like, yeah, exactly. They come out with that bang bang, and then all of a sudden it starts to develop the story and the character development and all that. So we'll see where it goes. I got good hope. I like Brolin.
I absolutely like Josh Brolin. And but it's getting a little weird. It's like Cowboys and Aliens, kind of, and it turned into a series. I know you had a good analogy or a good comparison. What'd you say it was?
It's Yellowstone meets True Detective.
Oh yeah, True Detective. Yeah. I think it's a little more out there than, even though True Detective, I think it's I mean, there's a little hocus pocus going on in True Detective, but this one is, I got a lot of fucking hocus pocus going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening there. I haven't started Better Call Saul yet, but I'm going to start it. That's going to happen, so I'll be able to get in there. Tokyo Vice, it's good.
All in.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to be able to do? I don't. My Japanese is not very good. So I have to read a lot of it's a mix. It's kind of like, here's what I think Tokyo Vice is. Tokyo Vice it's the Eastern version of Narcos. Because Narcos, there's a lot of Spanish, a lot of English, lots of mixed language in there. And I don't know, for whatever reason, and I'm not caught up on all the Narcos, but I watched a few of them and I thought they were okay. But I think I'm going to, the Tokyo Vice, I think, is going to put me in a position to go back and revisit Narcos.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I can see that.
I think it's good.
Do you think Hideki is a fan of Tokyo Vice?
I think so. I don't know why he wouldn't be.
I hope somebody asks him that in one of these press conferences coming up.
I already got it written down. Just waiting on the opportunity. Let's see. What else is happening in so our pick for the Open's coming up was 1792 foolproof. So if you haven't already reserved yours, you should do it now, because there's not a lot of bottles.
Have you put a picture up?
Hats? Kinda. I did. Kinda.
Send me one. I got a Twitter too.
Yeah. So that's going to be a positive move. It's fantastic. And let's see what else is happening.
Hats, you said?
Yeah, hats. I think all the hats are sold out, so we're gonna have to place a new order. Hats are sold out, and I haven't shipped them yet, but I do have them in boxes over here ready to go out. So
How big do you think your head's gonna get at the end of this year? My gosh. You gotta buy every freaking
it depends on how much weight I gain. It's bulky. You know how people call it bulking season? I'm thinking of this is going to be the bulking year. I mean, look at all these golfers that have gained all this weight. They're hitting the ball farther. I mean, I'm getting older. I got to do something to get an advantage.
Good point.
Just saying. Saying. What else is coming up? We got a few rounds. We got some rounds of golf that are coming up. I think I'm playing Wolf Creek this week in Atlanta. Stop by and say hi if you're around. I think we're going to play Dunwoody Country Club over the weekend. We may be playing Berkeley Hills over the weekend. I've got to get back into golfing shape, and we've got a bunch of golfing trips planned, and there's going to be a lot of walking. So I got to get this. I got to get this machine back in shape, buddy.
The machine.
Outside, yeah.
Tell me about this new PXG driver you got coming in.
Well, I don't know. It's just on its way. I don't know what it is. It's just a new PXG driver.
All right.
No, don't know. No free ads, by the way, PXG.
High hopes.
I hope it treats me better than Patrick's is treating him.
Well, thinking of Patrick's, it's Pat Reed and Pat Perez both do PXG, right?
Yeah.
So so what happens if you get this PXG driver and you cannot stop growing a mullet?
I feel like I'll take any hair growth I can get at this point. I mean, I'll take all the hair that I can grow. And why wouldn't I? And my barber's going to really appreciate it.
Nice. All right. That's good, man. No, it's all good. We got an exciting week of golf. We got major seasons right around the corner. So here we go.
It is right around the corner.
Do you think
we'll hope to, I mean, he's getting married. I mean, don't you think a wedding through? I mean, I can't talk about all my marriages. Some of them are still in, question. But but I'm thinking, like, I mean, doesn't a wedding throw things off a little bit?
So let me ask you a question. So will we have somebody own major season this year? I mean, obviously Scotty Scheffler's coming off a hot streak here, but will somebody own major season, or is it going to be kind of a sporadic kind of thing like we had before?
Well, if Jordan Spieth hadn't have missed the cut at the Masters, I would say yes. But I think Jordan's. I mean, it's already in the books, man. Spieth is my one and done for the Open. Unless the shark shows up, then I'm making a change.
That's right.
No, I don't think anybody's owning. I think we've got. I don't know where I'm going to go for. I don't know where I'm going to go for the PGA yet. I got to think that Rahm is getting antsy. I think Rahm is like really antsy on some things, and it's. I think that. Like it ain't going to be Xander. Cantlay, absolutely. I could see Cantlay following up something there and getting something done. But I could see Jordan pulling something off at St. Andrews. And I don't know about Boston yet. I don't know who's I don't know who I'm thinking about there.
Remember when Brooks was throwing those darts at Bryson Chambly's little thing? Do you think we're going to see a Rahm throwing him at Scotty Scheffler?
Oh, well, since you brought that up, let me ask the question. So do you think we've lost any? Do you think golf? So you put the speed, or you put the Brooksy and Bryson thing to bed. You got all that squashed. Tiger makes a comeback. Do you feel like there's really a buzz around golf right now?
Okay. Two things. I think we've lost a lot of the buzz. Yeah, I do believe that. And it could be people were drinking too much during COVID. Could be that.
Speak for yourself. I've upped my game, bud.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter. And then two, so a lot of people have been talking about this Netflix show that's coming on PGA Tour. and how
Oh, yeah.
well, and I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched the F1
I
stuff?
don't think it's out yet. I don't think it's out yet.
No, the F1 stuff. So the F1's in
No,
season.
no,
I want to
haven't,
go back.
no.
I want to go back and watch, or at least watch season 4. I think it's season 4, because people said that Netflix show has done wonders for promoting the Formula One circuit. Right. I heard some people last week talking about how they were going to the Long Beach Grand Prix, which wasn't even a Formula One. It was an Indy race, but they wanted to go there because their kid and their wife wanted to go because they watched the F1 thing on Netflix. I wonder how much this Netflix thing is going to do for golf. I think it's going to be huge for golf.
So, yeah, I mean, so it just as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking they're going to be illustrating the lifestyle, not really the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to get a behind the scenes look at the country club lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of well, and it's reality TV. So there you go.
So how many housewives have you gotten to sign up for the Real Housewives of the PGA Tour for our Birdies and Bourbon channel?
Several. Do
they remember?
Several. We'll ask them. I'd like to ask them in person. I'd like to ask them when we're recording. I think we're changing. We're changing that show. It's going to be called. It's going to be called Fairway. No, that doesn't work. It's Vokies and vodka. Vokies and vodka. And they're like, we don't know what a Vokie is, but we'll have extra vodka. So there you go.
Has anybody seen Big Dick Dick around?
It is a V. Let's start with a V. It ends with a V. How are you going to look at it?
Good stuff. All right, man. Yeah,
well, good luck. Hopefully your one and done this week does as good as yours did last week.
Yep. There you go.
Shall see.
Cheers.